guys, it's Gina from Orchid and Opal Jewelry and Beads, and I'm here today with the Facet jewelry box. I'm really excited. I've heard about this box. I've probably known about it for almost a year, and I've been really interested to try it out, and fortunately they contacted me recently and asked me if I would like to try out one of their boxes for my channel. So they sent me a box free of charge. This isn't a paid post or anything like that, but they did send me the box to do an honest review and to open it up on camera to show you guys what's inside and to put a project together as well. So I wanted to take a minute before we open the box. I know I'm very excited to see what's in it. I have not even opened it yet. You can see it's still sealed. But I wanted to take a minute just to tell you some of the basics about this subscription box. It is a monthly subscription, and they do include everything you need to make 2 projects. Now there's 2 different types of boxes. There's a stringing box, which is great for beginners or for people who may not be into bead weaving, and you will, like I said, receive everything you need to make 2 stringing projects in that box. And then there is a stitching box, which is for people who are interested in bead weaving or doing a little bit more intricate designs with, say, a needle and beading thread. So today I have the stringing box for you. Now this is a past box. It looks like, according to the sticker on the bottom, that this box was probably from the March 2018 edition. So if you are to sign up, say today, if you're watching this in October or shortly after I post it, then you will be able to sign up for the November edition of the box going forward. The price seems very reasonable to me. It's $24.95 a month, and it does go down in price a little bit if you were to sign up for a longer period of time. The shipping is free, so there's no additional charge if you're in the US for shipping, which I think is excellent. And then if you are an international viewer, there's a flat rate of $9 per box on that. So just want to mention too that the box includes everything you need, including like the beads, the stringing material, and the detailed instructions to make the projects, but you will need some basic supplies like scissors or jewelry pliers. So just keep that in mind. So I had to pause the video because just as I was editing the video, the company reached out to me with some really good news. They want to offer my viewers 50% off their first subscription box. So if you're interested, use the code HALF at checkout and you'll get 50% off your first box. But without further ado, let's see what's in this stringing box. I'm so excited to see because I have no idea what's in store. Right. Oh, wow. That's cool. So it can include any combination of 2 projects. So it could be earrings, it could be a necklace, it could be earrings and a bracelet, bracelet and necklace, and so on. So it looks like we have an earring project, which is super cute, and a necklace project, a stringing project for a necklace, which is adorable. So these are called Crystal and Pearl Dangles, which are really cute. And this is such an awesome way for people who are beginner beaders to learn some basic skills. Like, for example, up here, you need to learn how to make a wire-wrapped loop, and it's got all the steps you need, really clear instructions. And if you don't have the supplies already in your stash, I mean, it's all sent for you so you can learn some of these techniques. And these are things that you'll carry forward once you start creating your own projects. You'll use these techniques a lot. So I really like the idea of this box, particularly for those that are newer, or you just don't have a stash built up, or you don't have a lot of time to shop for materials, but you like beading. It's therapeutic. And I think it would be an amazing gift. So this is the 3-tier drop necklace, and looks like they've sent all the things we need for that as well. We'll get into the supplies and what they sent in just a minute. I'm just taking a quick look through at their instruction booklet. Everything is very detailed, lots of colored pictures, which is excellent, and looks like they give you a lot of tips on things to do. It's going to be, using a magnetic clasp with 3 loops on it. So if you've never used that before, this is just another way for you to get used to using a new type of finding, which is excellent. So you can find all the information for the Facet jewelry box below in the information section. I'm going to put the 2 links for the stringing box and the stitching box below, and you can check that out. And also, it looks like they have a store where you can shop for tools if you need to, called jewelryandbeadingstore.com, and there is a promotion, Beading 10. You can use that code to save 10% off your purchase if you needed anything else to go along with your box, such as the tools. So this is really cool. It looks like they've got the 2 projects sectioned out and very, very clearly marked. I love that. Everything is extremely clear and understandable so far, and we'll get more into that as I make one of the projects to make sure that the instructions are easy to follow and the instructions are correct. But look, it says Facet jewelry box, crystal and pearl dangles, so it's unmistakable. And then when you open up that bag, you have everything in its own bag, and it tells you specifically, okay, this is what project it goes to, so that if you do open up both bags and they get mixed up, you don't have to worry about what's what. So, and they include, these were Swarovski crystals, which is awesome. They're great quality. So it looks like they do include some nice quality beads in there. Here's all your findings, your chain, everything you'd need. So that's for the earrings, and then it looks like here's our supplies for the necklace. So we'll open that up, and I just lost my ring. So let's see, we've got awesome bead stringing wire. They sent Miyuki seed beads, which again, that's a great name brand of seed beads. Those are excellent. They're not sending you the lesser expensive seed beads. So those are 15-ohs. They're really, really tiny. They're sending you these drop beads that you saw in the picture that will be strung on the necklace. They have included the clasp that you need, as well as the crimp beads and other findings you need as well. So I'm really impressed so far with how they have everything organized. I think that's so important. I've gotten boxes before where things are not labeled, and it's very frustrating to me, specifically when you're trying to make certain projects that go along with the instructions and you're a newer beader. You really need everything to be clear and spelled out. So I'm really excited to show you at least one of the projects on video. I might go ahead and make the earrings, but I will come back and we will film the second part of this video so you can see a finished product. Okay, so I'm back and I've decided that on camera, let's go ahead and make the crystal and pearl dangle earrings, and this is just going to be me in real time trying to follow their instructions and booklet and just see how clear everything is and make sure we have everything we need, and to follow along and see what else you might need that's not included in the box to make this set of earrings. And already what's pretty cool is they've sent some extra beads. So you see how you only need 2 Swarovski crystal cubes? Look how many they've sent. So already they've included more than you'd even need, and they did the same thing with these other beads, the pearls and these crystals here. They sent 3 and 3, even though you can see you only need 1 on each, which is very nice. So over here, I just noticed it said, what will you do with your extra beads? We packed extra Swarovski cubes just to see how they inspire you, and you can share your images on their social media. So I think that's really cool that they're giving you even more than you need for this specific project. So that's pretty cool. What's also nice is they say what they've included as far as materials you'll need for this project, but they also tell you what else you'll need. So clearly you'll need a beading surface, chain nose pliers, you'll need round nose pliers, flush wire cutters, and a ruler. So those are pretty basic items that most beaders have, or if you're getting into beading, you'll be buying those things anyway. But right down here, they've got an excellent step-by-step way for you to create a wire-wrapped loop. They've got some tips here. It says you want to use your chain nose pliers. You're first making a right angle, then you're bending the wire around the round nose pliers and curving it around, down, and wrapping your loop, holding the loop with one set of pliers and using another set of pliers to wrap it around several times to make it nice and strong. Very good tips. So we have our step-by-steps. All right, looks like there's 5 steps in all. So without further ado, let's get started with step 1. It says using flush wire cutters, cut the 24 gauge wire in half. Set one half to the side and the other half on your beading surface. On one end, make a wire wrapped loop and string a crystal cube onto the wire and make the first half of a wire wrapped loop on the other end. All right, so first it says we need to take our 24 gauge wire and we need to cut it in half. So I'm going to take my flush cutters and I'm going to eyeball it and I'm going to cut it in half and set my other part over here. And it says that we want to create a wire wrapped loop. Okay, so using our chain nose pliers, we're going to make a right angle, 90-degree angle, like that, on our wire. Then we're going to take our round nose pliers, just like this, and bend the wire around and shift the pliers so that this is now facing down, and bring that piece of wire around. And now you could take 2 pair of pliers and use your other pair of pliers to wrap this around. I'm just going to use my finger because this wire is pretty pliable. I think I will use it just to get this end going like that. Okay. So we have our first loop made, and I'm going to cut that little end off with the flush cutters. So we have our first loop, and then we are going to string on a crystal, just like that. And then in the instructions, again, it says that we want to create our other loop on this side and not to complete it. So we're just going to get it started, and that way we'll be able to put on some chain on that before we close up our wire wrap. So we're going to get that started again by taking the chain nose pliers and making a right angle like that, and then taking our round nose pliers like this and wrapping it around like so. So we got it started just like that, and we're ready to move on to step number 2. So we'll leave this alone, we'll set it down, and let's see what step number 2 says. Okay, it says string a pearl on a head pin and a fire polish bead on another. Make the first half of a wire wrap loop, so just like we did, above each bead, and then cut 2 pieces of chain. Alright, let me move on to that after we do this part. So let's take a head pin. We're going to do some more wire wrapped loops, it looks like. So it says string a pearl onto one, and we're going to make the first half of a wire wrapped loop once again, just like we did. So I'm going to bring my pliers all the way down to the bead and make that right angle, and then I'm going to take my round nose pliers and we're going to make our loop. Alright, so we have our loop right here, and we're ready to do the same thing with our crystal. So let's take our crystal and put it onto a head pin, and let's see, take our pliers and make that right angle. Okay, just like that. So we have these steps completed. And so the next part says, cut 2 pieces of chain, 1.5 inches and 1 3/4 inches. String the pearl dangle on the end of the longer piece and the fire polish dangle on the end of the shorter piece, and then complete the wraps. Okay, so let me pull out my ruler. So it says we want a piece that is 1.5 inches. So about right there. And then we want a piece that is half of that, or 3/4 of an inch. So about right there. Okay, so we have our 2 pieces of chain, and it said the pearl is to be strung on the longer chain. So I may need to open this up a little bit in order to get the chain on there, but we'll see. So just pop that chain on to that piece of wire. And this is a little bit tricky. I'm going to use some pliers so that my wire isn't like turning. Here we go. There we go. So we have our wire loop attached to the chain on the pearl, and let's attach our fire polish bead. So I'm going to hold that in place like that. And again, just popping on that chain, just like that. Pretty simple. And then it said complete the wire wrap. So that's where we'll take our pliers and hold them, or hold the loop in place rather, just like that. And then we're going to take another set of pliers and wrap the loop. I think ideally, if I'm just being honest, I would have liked head pins that were a tad bit longer for this step, just because it'd be easier for especially like beginners and me, let's face it, to grab on and wrap around. But it's not anything major, that's just a tiny suggestion. Definitely can be done, it just is a little bit more fussy when you don't have as much to play with. But on the bright side of that, there won't be any waste because you really won't have anything you'll need to clip off. Okay, there we go. So we have our fire polish wrapped so that our chain won't go anywhere. And I'm just gonna pop this end more into place and then snip off just like a little teeny tiny end. If I can even get it, I may not even worry about it. Okay, there we go. So I feel good about that. And then let's take our pearl and do the exact same thing. I'll hold the loop in place like that and take another pair of pliers and wrap this one around. Okay. And just straighten up that loop so it's sitting tall. There we go. So we have our pearl on, and we have our fire polished on, and we completed our wrap. So step number 3 says attach the other end of each chain to the open loop of the crystal cube. Then complete the wraps. Okay. So here was our crystal cube, and here's our open end. So we're going to do something similar where we're going to string on these pieces of chain, just like that, and then we're going to complete our wraps. So this piece of wire was a lot more malleable or bendable than these head pins, so it will be fairly simple for me just to get it started with my finger. Sometimes that can be your best tool in certain situations. And sometimes I like to use my round nose pliers while I'm wrapping, just so that the nice round loop stays in place and doesn't get bent out of shape. So just take your time. And just bend it as much as you can, and then use another pair of pliers if you want to just straighten out that loop. Make sure these are kind of on the same plane. I'm going to take my flush cutters and I'm going to snip off this little end here that's sticking out, just like that. Awesome. It looks so cute. Okay, then it says step 4 is open the loop of an ear wire. To do so, hold the ear wire loop with 2 pair of pliers. Bring the tips of 1 pair of pliers toward you and push the tip of the other pair away from you. So it's talking about one of these ear wires, and it's suggesting that you use 2 pair of pliers. I never use 2 pair of pliers, but do what you want to do. I find that it's easy enough to bend them by using 1 pair of pliers and my finger, and you'll just bend it like that so that it's open enough for you to put on this loop here, and then you'll bend it back. So taking your pliers, you're just going to bend it back in place like that, and you can see that it was as easy as that to follow this project. Very, very easy to follow. And we have a really cute set of earrings. I'm about to make the other one, and I'll show you when it's completed. So here's the finished set. I think it came out really great. It was super easy to follow. I even have extra materials left over. I do want to mention that Facet Jewelry Box Company is from the same creator of Bead and Button magazine, so they are definitely a company that is reputable. They have quite a number of subscribers, and I hope to one day be able to try out their stitching box. I think the stringing box was awesome. I think that it would make an excellent gift for any beader of any skill level, and I think it would be a great thing for newer beaders to maybe look into if you just don't have the time or the stash built up, or you want to learn some basic skills that you can carry over to other beads and projects that you want to create and use. So I want to thank you guys so much for being with me. It was so much fun unboxing this box with you, to see what was inside, to see how everything was organized and put together, to just check out the overall value and the clarity of the instructions, and the pictures and everything else that came along with it. So I hope you guys were excited about this as well. Please feel free to leave me a comment or question below on anything you saw here today, and check out the information section again for the website information and how to subscribe if you're interested. And I hope to see you guys soon on my next video. Bye! If you enjoyed this video, I'd love you to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you'd like to see more of my videos, and check out the video description section to follow along on all of my social media handles, visit my Etsy shop, and check out my new website and blog at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching!